Hi there and welcome. I'm Takia Robinson, the lead content marketing specialist at Discover. Thank you so much for tuning in to our latest video where we feature insights from our women executives here at Discover. Today, we're discussing the roles that strategic partnership, leadership, and marketing have played in the evolution of the payments industry. We're here with Jenn Cruz. Welcome, Jenn.
Thanks, Takia. It's great to be here. Happy to spend some time with you today.
Super happy that you're here, and I can't wait to talk more about your journey here at Discover and payments overall. So just to tell you more about Jenn and her career so far with Discover, Jenn has developed and implemented marketing incentives and multi-layered marketing approaches that have driven volume, revenue, and also acceptance growth. She's overseen the relationship management of clients within Canada and also the United States. So to get into our conversation, Jenn, you've been involved in the payments industry and been a part of the Discover family for over 20 years. What are some of the key milestones you have witnessed in that time?
Yeah, 20 years is a long time. I just recently heard maybe it's better to say 2 decades. I'm not quite sure yet. But a lot has happened in 20 years if you go back. We started as a single network and a magstripe card primarily. And over the 2 decades, we've purchased 2 companies, Pulse and Diners Club, as well as introduced EMV to the industry in the US and Canada. And there's been a multitude of things. I think watching technology go from simple to extremely fast and having consumers embed their payments into phones, those have been probably the pretty top highlights that I can think of over the last 2 decades.
That sounds so cool. Okay, that leads to my next question. What excites you most now in your role?
Every day I wake up and there's a problem to solve. And taking my foundation of my Discover background, as well as just a huge dose of curiosity, that excites me every day. What can we do and what can we solve for our consumers and our merchants and acquirers?
I love to hear that. To talk more about your well-rounded experience or just your day-to-day, I want to kind of talk more about the industry perspective. So, as the payments industry has evolved from traditional payment methods to more complex digital methods, how has clients' needs changed as well?
Yeah, you can look at, you say client, there's so many of them within our domain of payments, but there used to be a simple approach to accepting payments. It's become very complex. I think when you look at the industry, everyone wants to optimize authorizations, and they really want to weed out fraud. And, it's become a very complex digital world. Every time we put up a fence, a fraudster's looking for it. So the industry has to come together and really fight fraud and then also optimize authorizations.
Okay, so that's interesting. That leads to my next question.
Yeah.
So Discover, us as a team, how are we helping merchants stay ahead of the payment technology breakthroughs?
You really have an industry of experts at Discover. We partner closely with our merchants and acquirers to ensure that we're sharing knowledge and we're introducing things, again, that will, help the consumer. The consumer doesn't really care about payments, right? They just want to check out quicker. They want to be fast. They also want to know that you're going to protect them, protect the money. So from a risk and fraud perspective, the rest of the industry really is to make it seamless and fast and protect them. And so I think if we keep the consumer top of mind, we're always working with our partners to better the environment.
For sure. So keeping the consumers top of mind, how has our model for managing merchants kind of, making sure that they keep their consumers top of mind, how has that changed over the years?
Yeah, I think over the years, we've always been a friendly and refreshing kind of brand to work with our merchants. We do advisory council meetings with our merchants, our acquirers. I think it really comes down to communication, trust, and relationship. That has grown over the years, and that helps us work better with our partners.
You help teams navigate so many interesting initiatives. Why do you think clear and strategic direction is so essential when it comes to collaboration? And then also, if you kind of could share some kind of outcomes that you have seen when it's done really well and right.
Yeah, if you think about clear strategic direction, just those words help us understand, it's clear. When there's ambiguity, and you have many people in the room, that people will leave and it will be their interpretation of kind of what the goal and direction is. But when it's clear, it's strategic, and it's written down, people are crisp on what they need to do. And the interesting part about not just like setting the direction, but why are we setting the direction? It's one thing to set and be clear, but if people don't know the why, they're not like totally sold into like, okay, I'm going to march behind you and we're going to conquer this. They may just do it, but when they know the why, and then they can start to see the ticker go up and like, oh, we're making progress, that's where you get like the fun, passion, and curiosity. Be like, can we do it better? Can we do it faster? It gets a sense of competition to really kind of like, let's just bypass the goal.
For sure. No, one of the things that really stuck out to me from the answer is setting the stage, setting the tone of it all. So kind of talking more about that, how does marketing set the stage for a positive client relationship, and what role should it play?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about marketing, product is really great at creating products. Like, what is the problem we're solving for? So a lot of people think just marketing is like the pretty stuff, but it starts and stops with data. And that really helps to guide what we're trying to do here at Discover is within the data. Like, are we getting to the right people? Are we getting the right closure? And are we winning? Sometimes the data may say, like, you should stop doing what you're doing. And we should also be very comfortable with the word, like, stop. Like, hey, we put it in a Petri dish. We did a small test. The test indicated, like, what we did from that approach isn't working. So let's look at the results, tweak them, and then go out with another test. That's also the beauty of marketing as well. It's not just set in stone. You're out there to learn as well.
I want to talk more about you just being a leader in your payments journey, Jen. So you've helped to usher in this new era of non-traditional payments. When you consider the depth and breadth of the new emerging payments ecosystem, what kind of leadership do you think is necessary to ensure that all the needs of partners are met?
Yeah, you've got to be flexible. I would say you have to have like an forever learning mindset as well as curiosity. If just talking about going from a mag stripe to contactless payments in 2 decades, the pace in which change is happening is crazy. I mean, I was just looking up, the new alpha generation. It's going to be the largest generation historically ever. And they're all digital, right? The oldest right now are 14, and they are our next consumer. So part of it is like we have to continuously learn and evolve and understand what our future consumers need. And so that requires just, constantly getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Talking about the alpha generation, it's kind of cool to see just the diversity of all our consumers and also merchants, the consumers that they deal with directly, of course. So I kind of want to talk about how just the diversity of consumers and even companies kind of play into that. So with that said, in recent years, more companies have started talking about the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why is the true commitment to DE&I so important for business partnerships and also collaboration?
When you're able to pull in a diverse mindset, you really do get the power of diversity. You really do see it. You have, if you have every voice at the table speaking sort of their POV on the possibility of a design of a product. I recently heard, they were re-engineering an astronaut suit. And, there were all these engineers, and they called in a dressmaker. And they were like, why do we need a dressmaker? And they're like, well, the dressmaker makes clothes. Yep. And the spacesuit is a piece of clothing, and she will give you her point of view. And so that's just an example. When you mix in different mindsets, you get a better product. You get a better outcome. If we all just came with it from the same, I always, tell my family, like, we'd be robots, right? We'd all be the same. That's not what make companies great. Sure. Diverse mindsets, the inclusion of everyone's voice, that gets that effective challenge at the table, and that forces the product, the process to be better if we're able to look at it from a 360 view versus just maybe this like singular viewpoint of, the same mind, just in different bodies.
We know the evolution of payments and just the future of it all. A lot more voices are at the table being heard. And even when it comes to just being in the know of all the new things coming forward, I think that's also great just to have different, POVs on what's coming up and just to be in the know of it all with just different expertises around you. So as we keep looking ahead somewhat, I want to talk more about how your career. So what's next for you at Discover?
I just took on a new job in the last year, so leading our credit issuance as well as our U.S. and Canadian gaining acceptance,
Yes.
and I'm on a full learning journey. I spent, we here at Discover talk about the Manic model, and it's merchant, acquirer, network, issuer, and the consumer. That's sort of how the chain of the transaction works. And I've spent the majority of my time on the merchant acquiring side, and I'm leading into the issuing side. I think also at this point in my career, it's to ensure that, women like you and others that, I'm investing in you as well as myself, and making sure that, the women that were ahead of me that pulled me forward and encouraged me, inspired me, sponsored me, it's really my job to do that now as well. And so that's really one of the most exciting parts about my job are the people, and just learning together, growing together. It's great to watch people be successful. And that's really what I'm up to. So yeah, super exciting stuff.
It's good to hear you say that, but also feel that in Discover too.
Yes, agree.
Jen, you shared a lot of great insights with us. I just want to thank you again for taking the time out of your day just to come sit down with me and share more about your experience and your payments journey, and of course your time here at Discover. And we're looking forward to just where your career at Discover takes you next. Yeah, I'll be cheering in your corner.
Thanks for having me. I had a delightful time with you, and I'm excited to watch you as well. So cheers to both of us.
Yes. And that brings us to the audience. Thank you for watching and tuning in to our latest installment of Women Shaping Payments series. We hope that Jen's insights inspired you as it inspired me. You can find more videos like this one, along with the latest information and perspectives on global payment trends at insights.discoverglobalnetwork.com. Thank you for watching.